Sorry that took a minute. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. Bear with me. It's crazy. Anyway, how is everybody? I just thought I'd pop in and say hi because we have been so busy. You don't even know. So I haven't had a lot of time. Anyway, yeah, I've been trying to figure out life. Things have been up and down in energy lately, and I know people are going through it. It feels like a roller coaster. So I thought I'd pop on here and see if anybody had anything that they wanted to talk about or try and figure out, or, any of that stuff that maybe we could gain a new perspective on. Because, even though everybody looks and says, oh, you're so wise, you're so smart, you're so what the fuck ever, it doesn't matter how wise or how smart you are, or how this or that. People, we're still human. That's all we can be. So, anybody who, is put in that position to be put on a pedestal, just don't do that to people, okay? Because it's not fair, number one. It's not fair to the people you put on the pedestal because, number one, they're human. They will always be human. You can't get away from it until you quit breathing. So, number two, I've learned a lot about expectations and what they do. They really end up messing you up. Oh, hang on, I gotta grab something. I wasn't planning on doing any readings, but it always ends up that way. So, I'm just gonna have these little bad boys ready, just in case. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for a few more people. I don't even know what time it is. It's 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness, everybody's getting ready for work. I forget. It's a weekday. Anyway, so, since nobody's here right now, I'm just gonna talk. Okay. What I'd really like to talk about is consciousness. Because consciousness is key. Understanding consciousness is key to understanding how to traverse this lifetime. But to understand consciousness, you kind of have to understand yourself. And you kind of have to understand energy and the way it moves. And the levels of energy and the vibrations of energy. And, they kind of stay in their own lane. Once they leave that eternal energy of the divine. Because there's levels, We have the conscious energy on all levels. We have, like, the earth conscious. We have a plant consciousness. We have an insect consciousness. And it's supposed to go up from there, to animal, and then human, then universal, then eternal. And there's certain energies. Good morning. And there's certain energies that cross over, and there's certain energies that stay in their own lanes. Like, the building blocks of matter is a pure energy. It is constant. It has to be one half of creation, and it has to keep its constant consciousness to be what it is. Some people call it dark matter. Some people call it whatever. The God particle. It's all this empty space that consciousness has in, well, I don't know how to explain it. There's different layers of reality. All right. There is no empty space. These consciousness can form matter out of energetic molecules from other realms and other what we would call timelines because time doesn't exist. Anyway, that is a universal consciousness that steps in and kind of helps with that because the other consciousness is the eternal consciousness, which is just the opposite of the building blocks of the physical. All right. Total opposites. It's way up here. That's what people would call God, if you want to call it God, whatever you want to call it. I have a problem with that word, but that's okay. Um, hmm. It is a consciousness. It is a thing, but it isn't what you think it is. What you're thinking of as God is a universal consciousness, which is also part of physical consciousness, which allows for envy and all that hate and all the stuff that makes me literally sick to my stomach. Anyway, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. There's so much hate created from childhood. You know, we're actually formed into these beings that instead of grabbing on to all the good stuff, we're taught to actually pay attention to the bad. There's whole rooms for possibilities out there that we need to learn how to create. You know, we have all these possibilities, but we don't know how to grab a hold of them and create them. Just like the universe has all the possibilities of all these molecules that we can't see in this empty space to create a whole new life. Now, you know, in the order of consciousness, it's good to, you know, to understand as above, so below. But see, where we're getting really fucked up is the human consciousness. We're supposed to be stewards of the earth and stewards of each other. And somehow this has turned into a big competition where everybody's in a race to be better than the other or to have more than the other or to do more than the other. And it's like, y'all are just making me tired watching you with all your bullshit. I mean, this isn't a race, all right? It's co-creation. It's it's supposed to be responsible co-creation, but we're kind of messing that up because we don't understand the layers of consciousness. I mean, it's I always say truth is simple, all right? If it's not true for every man, woman, and child on the planet, you cannot call it a divine truth. All right? So, if it doesn't feel right, but here's the thing with the layers of consciousness, there's a physical consciousness called your ego. You have to have it. Can't get away from it. That physical consciousness will sometimes fool you and make you think it's the divine consciousness, and it's not. But that's okay. It's confusing because we're human and divine. Yeah, we are. So everything is about a choice. Now, how can we make an informed choice if we're not informed? Well, we think we're not informed, but we actually are. You have that divine intelligence within you. You have that intuition. You have that knowing. One of these days I'll get into, the truth of energy and how once energy is created, it can't be uncreated. It can only change, which means that every bit of energy, which every single atom has a memory. All right. Every single atom has a memory. Let me say that again. Every single atom has a memory. And if this energetic piece could not be, once it's created, cannot be uncreated, that means every single bit of it has been there since eternity. It's just always been. All right. Now, can we wrap our heads around that? That means that every atom, and you have trillions of them, has been around for eternity, and they have a memory, okay? And that means that that little atom floating through eternity has been all kinds of things that will blow your mind. Quit thinking small, all right? We're not just talking about the universe. The universe is finite. It's going to disappear one day and another one's going to be built. There's several of them all over. So quit thinking small. Let's get our head up to, if you can imagine, the viewpoint of the most pure energy of consciousness as far as high vibrational goes. Now, there's magic in being both, all right? But we're too busy judging this as good and this is bad. But the truth is, when we're here to have balance, we have to be a little of both. That's what we're made to do. But if we're sitting here judging, this is this and that is that, and we're thinking all these physical things are divine and going out there and hurting people because we think we're doing the right thing by, like, oh, there's so much. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. You have the knowledge of trillions of eternities within you. So, it's not like anybody has any extra wisdom. We all have the same wisdom. It's how much. Oh, hi, Yenny. You're welcome. This is the thing that gets me. See, I don't want people to look at me and say, oh, you're so wise. All right. I want you to realize you're wise too. You know what to do. You know what's right. You know what's right for a situation. If it needs an explosion, be that fucking explosion. If it needs a hug, be that hug. Now, intuition and stuff are, like I said, we have this thing called our ego. And it's either tends to be fully founded in that physical energy, which is a very low vibrational energy of revenge and hate and hurt and it's just a mess. Okay, it's psychotic. I don't even like to think about it. As a matter of fact, it bites me in the ass a lot because I tend to like to see the best in people and the possibilities because I'm supposed to. That's who I am. That's who we all are. And, that ego, I tend to want to give everybody a chance, which is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be vulnerable, and then we're supposed to go from there. I'm learning to be a little more choosy about my vulnerability. It's hard lessons, but we all learn them. Because we're human, right? Anyway, what I'm going to ask you guys today is don't ever put people on a pedestal, please. All right? Because you're doing yourself no favors. And you're doing that person that you admire no favors. All right? Because they are human. Yeah, we have our bad days and say, I can't even tell you how many times I've told the universe, just fuck you. What the hell? But that's universal energy, okay? Now, when people say, can you talk to the universe that way? Well, the universe got a really fucked up sense of humor, okay? It does. That's why you never say never, because it's like a divine challenge. It's funny in a way. The universe has a sense of humor. I'm just going to put it out there. And I'm proof. Anyway, I guess my message today would be, what I really need you guys to realize is that when you see these amazing people and you look at them and you say, oh, the only reason you can see that amazing in them is because it also exists in you. And that's what I'm here to help you realize is you don't need me for that. You got this. I don't want to be put on a pedestal. It gives me wrinkles because then there's these jealous, low vibing people that try and knock you off and ruin your life and do all kinds of shit. It's just pretty sickening. But yeah, I'm human. I love being human. It's what life's about. I mean, there's so much beauty and so much magic in this world that you can only experience as a human, as a living being. But we're too busy with the programming and the gotta do's and the to be able to see and embrace that magic. And if you do see and embrace that magic, there's going to be people that come in and give you your dream and then go just to see if they can knock you off. And they might for, I mean, it's kind of hard to, you know, people will off balance people will knock you or try to knock you off balance and they may accomplish it. But, when you come up against a truly divine individual who knows what they are, you may get them to go this way a little bit, you may get them to go that way a little bit. There's a little wiggle room, but they will never leave their path for you. Guarantee you. Many have tried. Can't do it. Now, what I would like to see is people claiming that divinity instead of that ego. Because that divinity is really where magic happens. That's where you manifest that happy, that beautiful feeling, not the one I'm sort of living through, but it's about to become a non-reality. Um, Probably why I'm here doing this now. Uh, it's not a way to go to grab onto those lower vibrations because there are people out there, that kind of work within the universe and work within the divine realms. Now, nobody actually works straight on with that divine energy because they wouldn't be able to. I mean, they wouldn't be able to. That's why the universe is there. It's a filter. All right. That's high priestess, high priest, hierophant, angels type realm. Okay. Which we'll get into angels and demons and all that at a different time. Once you understand demons, you'll laugh at them. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm the kind of person when I know what's behind me. I know what stands behind me. And that higher vibration will, I mean, the lower vibrations can't touch it. Literally can't touch it. So I've had many people try black magic and voodoo and hoodoo, and it all comes back on them. And sometimes it doesn't come back on them very nicely. These are broken people. Very hurt, very broken people. I mean, they almost got me once, let me tell you. I was almost a broken person myself in a big way. And I'm still kind of recovering from all of this, getting my footing too. So it's a process. And it's a process for the best of us. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself for being human because we're supposed to be. All right? There's no lie in that. And we're supposed to claim it. We're supposed to claim our mistakes. Because when we run around doing horrible things and not claiming our mistakes, and some people actually go and plan to do horrible things and they plan to disrupt somebody's life. But when you have somebody on a divine path, and you try to stand in their way, it's sad. It's sad. Because people on a divine path are just trying to help other people realize their divinity. Now, there's certain aspects of control, which is not a divine vibration at all. So when people say control this and control that, the only thing you should control is your response to your ego. Honestly. We're going to have to talk about vibrations, like the true, like I said, the true vibration of God. Nobody has ever heard or seen or been able to be in the presence of that vibration. And no, it's pure. It's so pure. It's like a newborn baby. I mean, you can't, if anything, no, the divine doesn't see your bullshit. The universe sees your bullshit. But the divine doesn't see anything but love. Yeah, it has to maintain that vibration to be one half of creation. It's just the way it is. Now, I'm excited. Somebody says, oh, you follow Greg Braden. No, bitches. Okay, let me tell you. Greg Braden is finally talking about what I've been talking about for years. He's finally proving what I've been called crazy about. I don't follow him. In a way, he follows me. I know what I am. I'm the same thing you are. All of us are given the opportunity to grasp this understanding. And that's what these divine people are here to do, to help you grasp the understanding so you can free yourself of pain, of heartache, of people who want to bring you pain and heartache. You know, it's the divine outcome is not competition. It's everybody wins. I walk that path. I talk it. I do everything I can to live it. And that'll happen. That will, because everybody's given a choice to either do better or stick to what they know that hasn't been working for centuries. I mean, look at the world. Oh my fucking God. They think if they can rule it that they're successful, but no, that shit's gonna turn on them. Control is an illusion. So, what I would like to see is people understanding themselves and what a unique gift they are to the world once they understand themselves. You are a unique expression of that divine spirit. And you're meant to be a unique expression of that divine spirit, but not for what you want, sweetheart. For what needs to be done to balance the energy. Balance is peace. And as long as people are out there pushing it, with their mindset and driven by their private parts and their desires and their lusts and their greed and feeling like they got it all going on because they got it all, or they think they have it all. When they cross a divine's path and one of these people, they tend to lose everything like that. It's their choice. So the more we strive to be that kind of person, the more the divine is going to have your back, because the more you recognize the divinity within you and the more you recognize who you are and exactly what you're supposed to be, the more it's going to align with you. And the more happy is going to come into your life. Now, people can come into your life meant to be a blessing. All right? They can. But because of free will, they can choose to be otherwise. So they can start out as a blessing and then become a curse. That happens too. And part of it, yes, it's about you, boo. But part of it isn't. I'm going to say it again. It's our job to come here and be vulnerable. All right? Vulnerability is a superpower. It is not a weakness. What is a weakness is when you let that vulnerability become a victim to victimizers. That's the problem, because we've been taught to turn the other cheek. We've been taught to sit down and shut up. We've been taught so much that now when people stand up for themselves, they're considered the bad guy. So now we're in a world where truth is the bad guy and the victimizers are, oh, poor baby. Which in a way they are, because they're damaged too. To what extent? Well, it shows on what they're willing to do. I mean, if they leave you without means, if they leave you without a way of doing anything, or they think they leave you, or they're manipulating whatever. That's pretty rancid. I mean, it's one thing to talk, like when you get mad at somebody, oh, you motherfucker, that's like normal expression of anger, which anger is a form of love. All right, there's two sides to every sword. We have to understand this, because people automatically get defensive because somebody gets angry because they've been hurt. Well, yeah, I'm angry because I'm hurt. I don't like to be hurt. Fuck you. It's normal. Normal human reaction, but we've demonized it. See, people wouldn't get angry at you if they didn't care about you. They wouldn't give a fuck. But we've been taught so much to see anger as an attack instead of an expression. That expression makes people attack. Literally. It's not an attack. It's communication, dumbasses. We need to quit seeing it this way. And yeah, I'm talking to a certain person when I say dumbasses. I'm not talking to you guys. Just so you know. Yeah, I'm frustrated. None of this has to happen. That's the thing. None of this kind of stuff has to happen. And that's what you need to see if this is happening to you. And you did everything you could in co-creation to be a responsible co-creator. Like, you communicated with your partner, you let them know every move, you were working on moving as one, as a partnership should be. But when you see that partner not including you, not having a say in your life, not having a say in your future, not having a say, that's not responsible co-creation. That's a dictatorship. If you don't have a say in your own life, no bueno. That's a total lack of respect. See, everybody says watch for the red flags. Red flags. Red flags means it's already blood soaked, in my opinion. You need to be watching for the pink flags. Yep. There's precursors. When those precursors start showing, you need to pay attention, because they get deeper, I promise you. One of the things that I learned is the more that I stood up for the truth that's inside me and didn't let people abuse that, the more opportunities I got um, to move forward in my divine path. But the more opportunities you get, the more you shine, the more it irritates people's demons. So, yeah, it it takes a strong person to be a right person in this world. Okay, but the more people that we stand up to be right, or what I call right, um, to be more on the simple, not victimizing side of not control, not, that divine creation, that co creation, that respect, that love, that understanding. But there's certain energies out there. I call them the hoe energies. When you hear me talking about those hoes, you know who I'm talking about. These kind of people. They will do anything. They will sell out their mother for what they consider, for their either pride, ego, it doesn't matter. Um, you tend to irritate those kind of people. You tend to attract them to, because they can feel that shine. And they will do anything they can to bring you down. And you need to not let them. You're better than that. Yes, they will make life hard. Yes. I mean, they're, but they're stupid. I mean, they're working from a vibration that can't touch you. In the end, yeah, they could aggravate you and make life hard, but in the end, what is supposed to happen will happen. There's no escaping the divine. I don't care what kind of person you are, there's no escaping it. And when you try to, like, I'm going to talk about things like suicide and um, lives that get ended too quickly by choice, by their own choice. There's a lot of karma involved in that. You don't get out of that. And people, you've heard about these vengeful spirits, right? Well, you ever think that, like banshees and all these, do you ever think that maybe, and this is just throwing it out there, and like I said, it's a discussion. Do you ever think that maybe that people who come here and they gain karma because they don't understand their own power, and it makes them bitter and disturbed? I think one of the things that they end up having to do to work off some of that karma, if they check out early, is become an avenging angel for these divines. I believe that's how they burn it off. So there's a big balance of things in the world out there that, some of the things seem complicated. But when we get down to it, truth is simple. It's always simple. If it's complicated, it's ego. So we have to get down to the simple basics of it. That's why, there's like 4 major childhood traumas that cause all this kind of shit. And we're actually trained to give our kids by the way we believe, oh, I'm supposed to forge this child. No, you're not. You're fucking up that child if you forge him and not teach him how to forge himself with the spirit that's within him. Because children feel that spirit. All right? They're the most pure, close to God things there are that exist on this planet. They are the most honest, the most innocent, the most beautiful forms of that divine spirit. And we fucking them. I had my hand in it. I actually had children for the wrong reasons. I didn't understand the power of creation, a lot of things when I had my children, but it didn't change the fact that, oh my God, I love my children. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. I don't even talk to them now because they've all decided to take a path that I cannot even come close to condoning, not even a little bit. And it's okay to love people who are this way. You just have to put them over there because they're very destructive. They're destructive to themselves and everybody around them. And even though they're your children or your brothers or your sisters, you know, it's not your duty to let them ruin you. You can't rise and help them be anything different, and that's what they try and do. They try and get in your way. They don't want you to rise. They don't want you to do good because your shine irritates their demons. They hate you. Literally. They would rather destroy you than see you be happy and balanced. That's why they scheme and connive and try and look like the good guy all the way through, and then surprise, bitch. Well, they're not a hero. Not even close. They're very dangerous. Most of them need to get psychological help, and they do exist, and you need to get them the fuck away from you. I don't care if it's your son. I don't care if it's your daughter. I don't care if it's your mother, your brother, your sister. I don't care. And you need to do your job for the divine. And they're going to try and stop you. But that's okay. The divine's big. It's a big energy, sweetheart. So, what's supposed to happen will happen. Wisdom sometimes has to accept that, you don't have to know everything. That's part of it. I mean, it would be kind of sucky to know everything, don't you think? You never be surprised. You never have that beautiful, like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened, that kind of thing. I wouldn't want to be that kind of a psychic or that kind of a person that knows everything and doesn't have any surprises at all. I would prefer them to be good surprises, for sure, but even the bad surprises end up being good surprises from the right mindset. Nothing ever happens to you, it happens for you, for some reason. A lot of people misunderstand this, and they get into a victim mentality, which victim mentality is not good. It just isn't. It's very destructive. As a matter of fact, the people that are doing this evil stuff are all victim mentality. I don't like using those kinds of words. I don't like using the words narcissist because there's a big witch hunt going on out there. Now, there's a lot of people acting from high narcissistic intentions because of this trauma, because of this pain, because of this, and they're very destructive and very harmful. There's quite a few psychopaths. And sociopaths. But I'm not a doctor, and to actually diagnose them, I mean, part of your brain has to be dead. Does not work. Dead. All right. And the only way you can tell that is by a PET scan. So I'm not going to run around trying to be an armchair doctor. I'm just going to say, okay, this person may have high narcissistic tendencies, so I'm outie. See ya. See, this is my ass leaving. I'm out. And that's okay. You gotta love them from a distance because you can't help. When you're a divine, you can't help but love. It's what we do. We love, and we just because we love. because people are out there hurting themselves and they don't even see it. They don't understand how powerful and beautiful and amazing they are. But I'm going to tell you all that amazing and beautiful and powerful that you allow others to see or you see in others. The only reason you can see it is because it exists within you. Otherwise, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it to see it. So I'm going to pull a few cards. I just wanted to pop on here and say hello and let you guys know, we're all in this together. And I know, I can tell by the other tarot readers online that there's a lot of the same stories going on. So some of the masculines are rising over their ego, but some are very, very broken. All right. Some of them, they need help. Some of them are even dangerous. And yeah, just be careful. Trust your intuition. But most of all, just even if they are and you're told to do it anyway, do it anyway. Because the divine's got your back. Oh, there's some. Oh, yay. People are starting to see. People are starting to see that they can only get their wish fulfillment through their shadow. Right? People are starting to deal with this. This is good. I mean, everybody thinks it's scary, but it's really not that bad. All you gotta do is look at your shit and understand where it comes from. It doesn't come from you. It doesn't come from you. Every bit of pain that we have is because of somebody else's pain. Every mindset that we have has been like not something a lot of times. We always have to ask for people's opinion, which perspective is everything. But here, when we do this, we're going to get the message. I already got the message. I know who and what I am. Without a doubt, I know who and what I am. But those who don't, those who are not facing their shadows, not facing their demons, not understanding their demons, and they're going out and hurting people. That's judgment, my dears. I see it a lot. Now, here's the thing about that. We have the ability to balance this. We do. We have the ability to balance this karma. As long as you're still breathing, you have the opportunity to help. But you can't do it by enabling, all right? Enabling bad people is not good, all right? That's building up karma in a big way, all right? That's why we have to walk away from them. You cannot enable them. Because all you're doing is supporting the wrong side. Now, you can start doing the right things. If you're out there hurting people, you can stop it. You can do the right things. You can undo what you've done. You can make better choices. You can balance it. You can pay amends. Restitution. But most people in this mindset won't do that. Don't. Because they'd rather destroy the world than admit they're wrong. But the thing is, they can't destroy the world. That's ego too. They can only destroy their world. Because, in co-creation, I have my own power. You have your own power. That can only go so far. Can only go so far. So, the message for today is, Spirit is saying, what needs to fall, let it fall. Alright? Get the message of quit acting on. 2-2 is here. You've been building on the wrong... for the wrong reasons. Alright? Been making blind choices, but you've been thinking, maybe you've been making the right choices. And even though it's bitten you in the ass over and over again, you still want to do the same thing that doesn't work. Or maybe it's worked for a while and now it's biting you in the ass and you don't understand why. Well, maybe it's biting you in the ass now because you came up against a divine. Either way, the only way that things are going to change is to grab a hold of that other rod and make a different fucking choice. Everybody wants to keep doing what they're doing and expect different results. Well, that ain't happening. And quite honestly, as long as you're doing that, you don't need me because you're going to get the same results. A lot of people come to me and trying to get out of this and out of that, and then they, take the advice and don't do it, and then they come back a month later with the same thing, but they haven't changed. Guess what? You're getting the same advice. You'll get the same advice for years and years and years and years, and you still won't take it. So why are you wasting my time in that? People don't realize that either. And those kind of people that are like taking up that divine time, that's actually meant for people who are actually trying to help themselves and help others. The ones that are trying to keep somebody busy so they can't be on their path on purpose. There's karma for all that. And you'll reap it. You can't get away from it. Or you can fix it. You're still breathing. So think about the kind of person you are. And figure out what this message is. There's two kinds of people. There's the ones that are out there making victims. And there's the ones out there trying to help people realize their power so they don't be a victim. Which is why the victimizers are trying to stop the divines. Alright? This is simple. They're trying to stop it, but they can't. They can't. It's coming. Alright? The truth is coming. The sun is coming. People are getting strong. You're starting to see. They're starting to see their own immense power. Victimizers aren't liking it. No, because you can't make a victim out of somebody who stands in their own power, in their own truth. Lies cannot stand up against a truth that stands in their own power. Is this somebody trying to steal your happiness? Put you on that wheel. Don't let them. It's your will. You decide when you go on it and where you get off it. Nobody has that power over you. Alright? So, eventually, what this comes down to is even when these bad things happen, they happen so you understand your worth, so you start feeling it. The reasons these bad things happen to you is because you had to get that kink out of your armor. And you're stubborn. Yeah, how stubborn you are in getting that kink out of your armor and discovering your worth. I was pretty stubborn. I went through a lot of shit. I did. But, it's okay. I'm still here today. And so are you. And here we go. Alright. Come on, guys. This is what we are. We were born this way. Life takes away our pentacles one at a time by our beliefs. We need to stand firm and rediscover ourselves through those beliefs. All right? We have to realize what our beliefs are doing to us. Time to take some time with the divine and you. There's a little meditation time there, a little rest, so you can heal. Now I gave you a lot today. It's almost an hour, so I'm gonna stop here. It's just a start. There's so much more. I mean, there's so much more that you could instantly understand if you just tap into this. It's pretty simple. There's no big mystery to truth. You know, if it's complicated, it's ego involved, and that's what we have to see. So, complicated mess of somebody's creation. Don't make it yours, because that's creating karma. Let somebody else sit in that shit, okay? Be honest. Be honorable. Be kind. Be just. Be true. You know, don't steal. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. And as long as you do those kind of things, you'll be okay. Because the divine is moving. The energy, and yeah, we're in that part of the universal year of the cosmos where that energy, it's easier for that consciousness to come through. So people are waking up all over. And I'm excited about it. What do you say we do something good with it? Put down those swords. You don't need them. I mean, you do with some people because you're going to have to pick them up with these consciousnesses that I was talking about before, because you have to protect yourself. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Stick with that and the divine will have your back. Okay? I love you guys. You don't even know. Take a woosah. Take some time with spirit. Balance yourself. Center yourself. And go own your day. Alright? And once you start owning the days, pretty soon you're going to be shaping your reality. And that's what we're here to do. Is shape this reality. And you got this. Blessed be. Be blessed. Namaste.